I applied to like over 400 jobs. Nobody would hire me. I like ended up applying to retail jobs like Target and Home Depot, and still like nobody would hire me.
Someone take me.
Yeah, like I couldn't even get interviews, but I just taught myself how to sew during the pandemic, and then I started making videos online, and then it kind of just snowballed. Well, what worked for me and what's kind of interesting is that I thought it used to be like my downfall, but I think it's actually my superpower. I'm a very like introverted and calm, quiet person, and I thought that used to be like a bad thing, but that's actually a really good thing for me in this industry, because whenever I go to a set or to help out somewhere, it's usually very chaotic and like high energy. And like I'm a very grounding person to have around, so people just like having me because they know they can come to me and feel like comfortable. We were talking about like creating opportunities for ourselves, like that's something that's really important. So when Coachella released their lineup last year, I looked at their lineup and I was like, okay, who can I message on here to see who's open to have me like design for them? So I messaged a couple different people, and one of the people I messaged was the Tulips.
Welcome to La Artisteada with Kenia González Duran. Hi everyone, welcome to our second episode of the season of La Artisteada in collaboration with Univision. I just feel so legit like saying this. I'm super excited for our second episode. We brought you truly a star. His name is Eddy. He is a custom designer and tailor whose work has been on RuPaul's Drag Race, and most recently designed the I never know how to say Coachella fits for the Tulips, and has worked with big artists like Call Me Spice, Katy Perry, Camila Araújo, Young Thug, Dulce María, and I'm just leaving. Literally, I had to who do I take off this list? Because he's worked with many more. Welcome, Eddy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm also so excited. Like, you literally just worked, and I don't know if this was your most recent work, but this is like the work that we saw of the fits being in Coachella. How do you feel about that?
That was so exciting, and I got to do it with like 2 Latin artists, so that made it even more special. But yeah, I've been working on that for months, and to see it in person for the first time was like so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like working on something and then also like seeing it on stage.
Yeah, because usually I like make something and then I send it away and I never see it again. But like this time I got to see it in person, like on stage shining. So it was like such a different experience. So that made it like so much more special.
Yeah. I can imagine. You know, I was literally a couple of weeks ago now, I had a conversation with Chewy, the artist that did Vueltita with Bad Bunny. And we were talking just about that, you know, about like how sometimes we see the artist and the creative, and we don't really know how like as audience that y'all are also like experiencing things for the first time and seeing your work and like maybe hearing your work, or like if you're a filmmaker, seeing it for the first time. And so like how is that now for you?
Well, I'm like such a fan of pop culture and pop stars in general. So I love seeing the behind the scenes of how like things come together, how songs come together, how like people make the outfits. So I like filming the process so that I can like share that with fans of whoever like I made outfits for. So I don't know, I'm such a fan, so I want to do like fan service to like whoever is a fan of the artist. You know, I think
it's so crazy because I think that in your content you're always like so vulnerable, and I absolutely love that about you and about how you talk about the creative process, not like only quite literally, but also like the feelings that you go through when you are creating art for people, right? Why do you do that?
Why do I get so vulnerable about it?
Or why do you think it's important for you to share that part too?
Because I feel like people usually just share the best parts of themselves and like the glitz and the glam of like making the outfit or like the pop star. But behind the scenes, there's like a lot of burnout and like overworking myself and stuff like that. But I guess just to like let people know, to like make sure they have a balance between their work and their life, and making time for like family and friends as well. Because I'm such a workaholic and like all I do really is work. And I live so far away from my family. I'm from Seattle and I moved to LA in 2020. So it's just like a reminder to myself to make time for like more important, like things that are also important. Yeah.
You know, I think it's so funny that you talk about being a workaholic because I literally think that my sister and myself, that we are workaholics, but not necessarily because we like love like working, but we love the mission of the things that we're working on and where we want to get to. And it's like there's always just something to do. And I think that as creatives, there's always something that you could be doing to advance your career. And so to me, I'm like, I don't know where to stop, when to stop, you know?
And there's always like new opportunities, and I'm like, I have to say yes to it, or like I might not get this opportunity again. I want to make sure I'm keeping this person happy and knowing that, like, let them know that I'm always available for them. If like I don't take this opportunity, like someone else is gonna get it, and like I want to make sure that I'm like at the top of my game at all times. So so I like just always say yes, and then I'll sleep when I can.
You know, I love that. And earlier when we were chatting before being here, you were talking about how you learned like you taught yourself how to sew and design until 2020. But tell me, let's go a little bit in the beginning of your life. When do you gain a passion for art? Like, I guess also something that I think is so interesting. My mom was she is a fashion designer. She sometimes makes clothes for me. If people follow me on Instagram, like my mom made this dress. You know, like
wait, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
I love talking about that. But I think that I grew up going to como tiendas de telas and like just playing around as if I was a fashion designer. But I know that a lot of people like know or gain consciousness that clothes get made. Do you remember like what was that for you, or when did your passion for fashion begin?
Well, like originally, like in elementary school and middle school, I wanted to be a marine biologist.
What?
And then I got to high school and I didn't want to do that anymore. But I was like really into pop culture and like pop stars. So just seeing the pop stars outfit, I think that's like what inspired me to love fashion. And then I also worked in retail in high school and like during college. And I love the styling part of it when I worked in retail. So I think just seeing pop stars and knowing that like styling and making outfits was a thing kind of inspired me to want to do that. But originally I wanted to do like marketing and social media for pop stars. And that's like what I went to school for. I got my bachelor's in media and communications, and then I got my master's in communications and digital media. And then I moved to LA during the pandemic to pursue that, because I was like in college getting my master's, and then the pandemic happened. And then I had like all this free time. So I was like, well, I don't really want to live in Seattle anymore. There's not that much tying me down here. I know the job opportunities that I want aren't in Seattle. So I just made the jump to move here with my best friend. And then I moved here. I finished my master's program. I applied to like over 400 jobs. Nobody would hire me. I like ended up applying to retail jobs like Target and Home Depot, and still like nobody would hire me.
Someone take me.
Like I couldn't even get interviews, but I just taught myself how to sew during the pandemic. And then I started making videos online, and then it kind of just snowballed from there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. You just said a lot. So let's move a little bit back. When you graduated from your major, what made you want to like pursue a master's degree like right after it? Was it like, did you not get a job, or were you trying to like really push your education further?
Well, in high school I took like AP level classes, and then I got like college credit from that. And then I did like summer courses during college too. So I ended up graduating college like 3 years instead of 4 years. So I graduated early, and then I didn't know like what I wanted to do after. So then I was like, well, maybe I'll just get my master's program, because I can like apply to the program and maybe I'll get in. So since I graduated in the springtime and I had till like summer to apply to the master's program, I had time to apply. And like hundreds and hundreds of people apply, only 70 people get in. I got into my master's program. I was the youngest person in my master's program. And I've always just been like an overachiever, like go-getter. So I was like, well, I want to go to college. I want to keep going to college because I don't know what I want to do fully. I know the opportunities in Seattle aren't the best for like what I want to do. So yeah, I just wanted to keep going to school.
What pushed you to like be like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna make the move to LA, because I do think that it's not easy, you know, not moving to somewhere that you know people here already, or was it just like I just have to do it?
I remember like in middle school they made us do like a vision board of what we want our life to be, and all I had on there was like California, a little dog, and like money, and that's like all that was on there. So I've just been wanting to live in California since I was little. And like my dad has family in Palm Springs, so in the summer times, like maybe every 3 or 4 years, we like come and visit them. And like sometimes we'd like land in LA and we'd like drive around or like go to Santee Alley and stuff. And I always thought that was really cool. And I think living in Seattle and like watching movies and stuff, I thought LA was like this magical fantasy place. And it kind of is. Like that's how I feel living here. And yeah, it was always just kind of like a dream to live here.
And when you got here, did you find the opportunities you were looking for immediately? Oh no, you said that you applied to jobs, you didn't get them.
Yeah.
How do you pivot?
Well, I had all this knowledge of like making videos, storytelling, connecting with people like through different art forms from school. So like everything I learned in school, I kind of applied it to my like new sewing hobby. And then like whatever I would have done for like a pop star or like wherever I ended up working, I was like, well, let me just do it for myself. I know how to make videos. I can speak on camera like in my room. So I just, did it for myself.
Yeah, and how did you start learning how to sew? Because you learned also older. I think that some misconception that I believe is a misconception is that people are like, oh, I'm an adult. I can't learn anything anymore, you know, or like I can't learn a new language. I can't learn a new hobby. Like, how did you push yourself to do that?
Well, in the pandemic, I was finishing school. I was only going to school twice a week, and then I had 5 days of free time. So I was like, well, I have all this free time. I should probably like find a hobby that's beneficial and like can help me mend my clothes. So originally I was just like sewing my own clothes, making it fit better. I was making clothes for my dolls and like, so it was just like a pandemic hobby. And
wait, talk to us about the dolls.
I started collecting dolls during the pandemic as well. It was just like another hobby of mine. And then I like, some of their outfits I liked, and then sometimes I didn't like their outfits, so I just make new ones for them. And they're also just a big source of inspiration for me, because to me, they're kind of like a little piece of art, and they kind of reflect culture at the time and like different time periods. So this is very like Chanel in the 90s. And sometimes I'll like recreate my doll outfits into human size outfits. And that's kind of like how I started making TikTok videos as well. So yeah, they're just like pieces of art to me.
I was a huge Barbie fan growing up. Like
I like Barbie too.
Yeah, I literally had, and I don't ever talk about this, but I had like over 70 Barbies because I just love dressing them.
Do you still have them?
No, fortunately no. Like I moved a lot. I'm from Tijuana, and I moved, I think up until now, I think I moved more than 23 times houses.
That's
so like obviously with every move we had to like get rid of stuff. And so eventually like I just lost them. But I absolutely loved Barbies. My sister loved Bratz. Like it truly is something, and I love that there's a comeback right now. It's like the fashion and everything Y2K is having its moment. But
they're like very fashion forward, and it's like such a big source of inspiration for me. And also just gave me something to like look forward to during the pandemic when they would like release new lines. I could go to the store and buy the new ones and just feel inspired.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And okay, I'm like, as I was doing my research, I was like, I have to read this. So back in May 4th of 2021, you posted on Instagram, as some of you may know, I recently started making and selling clothes as a way to make extra money, as I do not have a job at the moment because of the pandemic. I just restocked my Depop. Please check it out and share this post to support an LGBTQ plus POC small business. So I would love to know like what pushed you to share, to be, I guess, like this vulnerable, because before that, your posts before that were like more generic, you know, showing like your brand. But I think that this takes a lot of energy. I don't know if it's like from like knowing that your audience, like maybe it's your friends or maybe it's not your friends, like what pushed you to share this?
I didn't have any money, so I needed to make some money. And I was basically just like monetizing a hobby that I really loved. And there's kind of like that's kind of like a hard thing to do, to monetize a hobby, because like you really love doing it and it's so fun. And then sometimes like you just need the money and like you're not really feeling so, like sometimes like, oh, I don't want to sew, but I don't have any money, so I need to sew and make something so I can sell it. So like that's how I felt at that time. Sometimes it was like, well, like I know if I monetize this, I'm not going to enjoy it as much, but like I needed to monetize it.
Had you started selling stuff before you posted this?
I had a couple listings on Depop already, and I would make a little bit of money each month, like not like $200, $300, so like nothing really. But I thought if I started like advertising online more, I'd make more money, and then I could pay my rent and like groceries and stuff. So
yeah, do you remember maybe like I love talking about first?
Yeah,
always. Do you remember your first sale? Did it come from like friends and family, or did it come from a stranger?
It was a stranger on Depop, yeah, because Depop you can definitely like find smaller artists on there selling whatever, and you just have to like, I'm very into like SEO, like like when you search for something online, however you like caption it helps people find it. So I like made sure that I put like corset top, corsets, designers, new designers, because that's something that people look up and then they can find your stuff. And if you make it niche, then it'll be like you'll target the right people, if that makes sense. So I was just trying to target the right people.
And how did you feel selling your first piece? What was it?
I think it was a corset top. Because also like a really big thing for me was making corsets for flat chested people, because usually corsets have like the bust line and it doesn't fit people that are like flat chested. So that's kind of what helped separate me from other corset makers that were selling on Depop. So like anybody could buy it really.
I love that. Why did you do that? Why were you intentional about promoting that?
Because I wanted to make corsets for myself. And like if I were to go to the store and try to buy one, the corsets had like bust lines, so it wouldn't like fit properly. But if I just made like it myself and it was like flat chested, then it would be something I could wear. And then I posted that online and other people liked it, so I made more for other people too.
Yeah, you're like, I see there's something here. And what made you want to make corsets?
Pop stars. Like I always just like pop stars, when they go on tour, they do music videos, they usually wear like a really tight corset and like a cute skirt. So that's kind of what inspired me to start with corsets, and that's still like what I do now.
Yeah, they're iconic. I have to say they are iconic. And then I don't know if you had like a bigger collaboration before this, but from the research, I saw that you created something for Sugar for RuPaul's
Drag Race.
Yeah. Yes. Was that the first time that your work was with like in this big, being seen by a big audience?
Yeah, it was. And that actually happened thanks to Depop.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess I'll back up a little bit. I used to make like, before sewing, I would make doll unboxing videos on YouTube. So this doll, I brought her because she's very special to me. I made an unboxing for her, and Sugar also collects dolls. And she watched that YouTube video of me unboxing her. And then she was on Depop scrolling for new clothes. And then she saw that like the boy that was making the outfit or the like doll unboxing is also the boy that's making these corsets on Depop. So then she like followed me and messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, I need some outfits for a performance or something. And then I made that for her. And then that's how we got connected. And then a year later, she moved to Los Angeles. And then when she moved to Los Angeles, we connected in person. And we got along really well because we both like love pop culture and pop stars and dolls. And then a few months later, she let me know that she was going to go on RuPaul's Drag Race. And they gave her like a list of themes for each like runway every week. So then we started making the outfits in like March 2022, I believe. And we had like March and April to make like a bunch of outfits for Sugar and Spice, her twin sister. So that whole 2 months, we just go to like Santee Alley. we'd buy fabric, we'd go home, we'd like rhinestone everything. And then they started shooting in May. And then after shooting, it was like a whole year till RuPaul's Drag Race actually aired. So that for that whole year, I would make tutorials on the outfits that I made for them, so that once the show aired, I could share all this content and have it ready, because I knew there was going to be like a lot of eyes on them, and then because of them, they could highlight me as well. So I just had like all this content ready to pump out once the show was airing. So
oh my gosh, you just said so much that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, okay, maybe like a more like overall general question. Like, did you ever imagine this would be an opportunity, or this type of opportunities were the ones that you were working towards?
I had no idea. I was just like, I had no money. I like was just making content online. Whatever breadcrumb the universe would give me, I would just like follow all these little breadcrumbs, say yes to everything. Even if I didn't have time, I would just like make time to do it. And I feel like that's kind of like what you have to do if you want to be successful in like this creative field, because so many people are trying to do the same thing. So you have to be like super consistent, super dedicated, super just on top of your like work.
Is this how you started doing like teaching people, doing like your DIY videos and your BTS videos? Was it through this opportunity, or were you doing that before with the dolls as well?
I was doing it kind of before, and I was doing it a little bit after. It was more like transformation videos with the dolls, but then I also like, if you make sewing content, like teaching people how to sew, that's very like evergreen content, and I knew that. So like I was teaching people like how to thread a sewing machine, how to do a straight stitch, how to hem pants. That's something that people are going to search up for the rest of forever, like as long as people are on the internet learning how to sew. And that's how I would title my video. So every time somebody searches how to sew or how to thread a sewing machine, my video is going to pop up.
And then once you got this opportunity, how did you... Well, I guess let's backtrack a little. Was this the biggest opportunity that kind of like opened up the rest? Or do you think there was some other build-ups before that?
This was definitely like the biggest opportunity I had at that moment. And then Sugar and Spice were so sweet to like always highlight me, always tag me. Whenever they needed like an assistant for a gig or doing a podcast, they would bring me along for the ride. And like they did a podcast for Trisha Paytas, and I went with them to film the podcast, and I would like help them get into their corsets. And then they would always be like, oh, this is Eddy. He's like our really close friend. He's also a designer. If you ever need anything, like he's here for you. So they would like put me on like very heavily, and even till now. So
wow, that's so incredible. And I think something that I really wanted to talk about was that like being part of a specific community, like how do you think that shifts the opportunities, or like how you can express your authentic self? Because I think that this was like a show that is very LGBTQI center, right? And you are part of that community, and you've been very outspoken about that. How do you think that allowed you to express your creative freedom to the fullest in the beginning of your career, right? Because I don't think a lot of creatives get to do that maybe until later.
I was always just being myself, and I think being around Sugar and Spice, they're also just like authentically themselves. And then being around other creatives, you kind of just inspire each other. So it's not even something I really thought about. I've always just been myself. Like when I came out to my parents, it wasn't really a big thing. They were just like, okay, that's like, my mom took a shot of tequila. Like she was like, okay, that's great. And then we kind of just like moved on, and it was fine. And they've always been like very supportive of me. So it wasn't something I thought about. I just like live, and then
I love that. I was watching this documentary, this on women in hip hop. I can't remember the title, but it's a documentary on women in hip hop. And one of the rappers was saying that literally her first music video was her like hitting on another woman, because she was like, I don't want this to have to be a conversation. It's there. That's who I am. Whatever. Let's move on. Let's have like different conversations. But I think that as people of color, also sometimes you walk into spaces, and where you go into spaces that are majority white industries, you do have different experiences when working with people of color than when working in spaces where you are a minority. So That's why I was asking the question.
Yeah,
But I love that. And then how did your next opportunity started coming about after this? Because you worked with major artists like Katy Perry, Dulce Maria, like her. I don't know if it was for an RBD thing, but like, how did that next opportunity come about?
Well, Sugar and Spice introduced me to Trisha Paytas, and then Trisha Paytas had me booked for like the rest of the year and like the upcoming year, and I still work with her sometimes. And she was also really great about tagging me and shouting me out on her podcast, on her socials, and that really like helped push me to like a bigger audience. So that helped a lot. I went to a music event and I met a stylist there in Los Angeles, and then that stylist, her name was Angie. She got recruited to work the Eddy tour, and then they needed like a seamstress, I guess, or like somebody that makes outfits to help for the LA dates, because there was 4 LA dates, I believe. So for 3 of the dates, I got to go to the venue with my sewing machine, and I was there making skirts for Dulce María and making shirts for Anaí. So that was through an in-person connection. And then that stylist also introduced me to like different stylists, and I got like different like I'm working with Kenia Os a little bit more recently, and that was through that stylist that I met at the music event.
Gosh, you're iconic.
Thank you. It's really sweet.
I love that, and I think that like something that I keep hearing is people kept mentioning your name in different rooms. Is there anything like, how do you build those relationships? Like, how do you gain trust with these people? Like, I'm sure obviously the work speaks for itself, but do you think that there's another quality in your interactions? Do you say like, hey, I'm open for work? Because something that I've seen a lot recently is like a lot of creatives post, I'm open for work. And I think that's amazing, because it's like, oh, this is how people can know that I can hire this person. It sounds like it's mostly one-on-one interactions. If you would tell someone, this is the thing that I always make sure to tell other people, what would that be?
Well, what worked for me, and what's kind of interesting, is that I thought it used to be like my downfall, but I think it's actually my superpower. I'm a very like introverted and calm, quiet person. And I thought that used to be like a bad thing, but that's actually a really good thing for me in this industry, because whenever I go to a set or to help out somewhere, it's usually very chaotic and like high energy. And like, I'm a very grounding person to have around. So people just like having me because they know they can come to me and feel like comfortable and like everything's going to be fine. So, like that's helped me just.
I love that, because I do think that there is, people think that being an extrovert is kind of like the quality that you need to be able to network. But you also need listeners. The extroverts need the listeners.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And like what you're saying, right? Like someone that grants you. And I do think I have one friend that also, she is an introvert, and she's like, oh, I used to get like very like nervous, but being in spaces where, what you said, there's a lot of chaos. Like people do want to find like a grounding person that's in the room. I think that's been like the thing that people have mentioned to me the most. They're like, you're so grounding. We know everything's going to be fine because like we can just come to you. And then also like I do a really good job at my job. So like, so that also helps. And something that I would love to also talk about is the finances. So you start selling your work on Depop. And I think that as creatives, many times it's really hard to negotiate, to learn when to increase your prices, to know when to shift for certain things. How did you learn to navigate those conversations and to advocate for yourself as your work continued to grow?
At the beginning, I was definitely underselling myself. And that's something that I had to learn how to not do that over time. And also just like with the more I grew, the bigger the budgets would get with the people that I worked with. So then I could charge a little bit more. And also over time, my work just got way better. So I knew I could charge more. Because like at the beginning, everything wasn't perfect. There was like a lot of mistakes in my sewing projects. So there's no way I could charge like X amount for something that's not worth that. But like the more you hone your craft, the more you like grow in your industry, the more that you can charge. So it's just something that like gradually changes over time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I heard someone once say that she always made sure when someone referred her to increase her prices just by slightly a little bit, because she was like, I just need to know that I am growing, and if some other people are recommending me, it's because they want to work with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane, because I also think that sometimes the confidence of that needs for you to be like, you know what? I don't know if this person knows how much I charge this other person, but you just have to step up.
And you also don't want to be the person that people know they can come to you for like something really cheap. And also, if you like increase the prices of your products, like if you charge more, people are going to be like, oh, this is worth more because of this price tag. So even just having a higher price tag makes people believe that it's like worth what it's like worth more, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So.
And do you think that you're more comfortable talking about money now that you've done so much work with bigger artists?
I think so, yeah. And I'm sure like when a stylist refers me to somebody else, they tell them my rates already. So like sometimes I don't really have to talk about it. I kind of just like send the invoice and they're like, okay, like we knew that was coming. So, and also I've been working with like a lot of the same people for a long time. And they know that I've been growing, so the prices are going to go up. And it's never like oh, that's too much or something like that. They're always like, okay, they like respect the prices. But also I'm not going to like charge like a crazy amount just because I know they're a celebrity and they can like pay it, because they know when they're getting like upcharged like way more than it's worth. So like you also can't like take advantage of a celebrity and like charge a bunch because you know that they can pay for it, because they know that they're getting taken advantage of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. And it's interesting like how you have to like learn how to navigate those conversations, and I'm sure that comes with time and with also like your relationships. Did you ever have anybody that you could go to ask these questions to?
Not really. I kind of had to just figure it out as I went. I would go on Google and like ask like how much other people are charging, and I would find like advice threads on there. But also for like my sewing projects, I charge the material, like how much I spent on materials. And then I charge like, well, it changes over time, but let's just say like $40 an hour for the amount of time it takes to sew. So if it takes me like 8 hours to sew something, I'll just do like 8 times 40 plus the materials, plus how much I want to charge for the skirt or how much I want to charge for the corset. So if I want to charge like $600 for the corset, then that's going to be on top of my labor and work it takes to make the product. And also you want to charge like how much time it took you to source the fabric, how much time it takes you to make the sewing patterns, sketch the designs. Like a lot goes into it.
No, so. I love it. And I think it's very important, because I don't think that these conversations about like how to charge are ever up front, like front and center as creatives. Like we can talk about concepts. We can talk about what your inspiration behind doing all this. But I do think that it's so important, specifically as creatives of color, to like have these conversations and be transparent. So I want to thank you for allowing me to have this conversation. And then also talking about like, now let's go to the concepts. Talking about like vulnerability. I love that one of your most recent posts, you said like you were going to do something on the spot, to do some tailoring on the spot, and you mentioned like that you were nervous because you never know like how much time, like how do you navigate that, and what are the conversations that you have in your brain? Because like I guess to us as your audience, you're an experienced, successful fashion designer, right? We never think about the struggle, the inner struggles that might be going through your head when you say yes to an opportunity, but don't know maybe if you, or question if you will be able to meet the standard. Like, can you tell us about that? Like, what is that for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, whenever I have to go do like an on-set tailoring job, I do get nervous because I don't know what I have to tailor. I don't know how much time I get to tailor it. So it's very like on the spot. You have to either meet the whatever criteria they like want met, or you don't meet it. And luckily every time that I've gone to do a job, it's gone really well. But on the way there, I get like scared and nervous. But I just tell myself like, you've done this before. You've always done a good job, so why would it be any different today? And just a lot of like positive affirmations and positive self-talk. Listen to music that I enjoy on the way there to calm my nerves, because I do get like anxious sometimes, and that's just like how I've always been. And something I deal with, but I mean, I just have to like uplift myself and believe in myself.
Yeah, I think that happens to me too. And something that I always like have to remind myself in my brain is like, yeah, literally every time that you do something, whether it's an event, a conversation, it always goes great.
Yeah.
So why would this be any different? And something that I just very recently I started practicing too is breathing. You know, I don't think like we don't talk enough about how important it is to breathe.
Yeah, just taking deep breaths.
Yeah, to help you calm down in that process.
Yeah.
And tell us about Coachella. Like how did that come about? Your work with the tulips.
So once, I think we were talking about like creating opportunities for ourselves. Like that's something that's really important. So when Coachella released their lineup last year, I looked at their lineup and I was like, okay, who can I message on here to see who's open to have me like design for them? So I messaged a couple different people, and one of the people I messaged was the Tulips, and then they connected me with their manager, and then with their manager we talked through the logistics, pricing, like all that kind of stuff, and then we dealt with that, and then with the Tulips we just talked about our inspirations, what we want the outfits to look like, different reference points. They sent me a Pinterest mood board. And then through that mood board, I sketched out some ideas. I sent it back to them. They let me know what they liked, didn't like. I made the outfits. We did some fittings. And then it went to Coachella and they performed in it. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I love that you do active outreach to find opportunities for yourself.
You have to.
You know?
Yeah.
And this might be a weird question to ask, right? But how much do you think, like, since you grew your social media, like I'm sure that brings also validation when people like respond and stuff. Like, what would you tell someone that is starting? Kind of like, what are the tricks to like grow their social media and make sure to like be niche? Since that is your expertise too, like you studied this, right?
Yeah.
Like, how can someone be intentional about knowing what to share and how to build their audience?
This is like a 30-minute video because like so much goes into it, and I'm so into like analytics and like what works on social media, what doesn't. But basically when you post a video, you have like 2 seconds to capture somebody's attention or else they scroll through it. So what I like to do is when I make a video, I make the first clip like 1.7 seconds or like 2 seconds, and then I switch it to like another clip so that it feels like somebody's swiping, like it's a new video. You also want to have like a caption all the time that is like interesting, like a really good hook, like the on-screen text, you know, just make sure that that's like something that people want to read. People also love like transformation content. So like I'll do like thrift flip videos where I'm like turning this ugly shirt into like a couture corset. And then people love that transformation. You can do that with makeup. You can do that with your outfits. Like drag queen transformation videos do really well because of that. So if it's like a transformation type video, that really helps. Also, if in the video there's like a sense of urgency. So I'll do like, I have 24 hours to make this outfit. People are like, oh my God, 24 hours? Like, how is he gonna do this? So they wanna watch it. The Carol G video is a good example of that. I had like a week to make 100 headbands. And also like having that star power of Carol G in the title helps a lot too. And also if you connect your content to like a celebrity or pop culture or something that's relevant in the pop culture world, that helps a lot as well. So like if I put like making an outfit for Katy Perry, like people are like, Katy Perry fans are going to want to watch it. So just tying it to something that people are already a fan of helps a lot too. So but there's so much. I need to make like a whole series on this, but
yeah. And what do you think it's important for creatives to do this to get opportunities?
I think so. Like now you have to be, well, you don't have to be, but like you can be an artist, but it also helps a lot if you're also a content creator to help get your art out there. And also you want to make sure your content's like educational so people get something out of it, inspirational so they feel something, comedy, like make it comedic because people love to laugh. There needs to be like something you take away from the content. Yeah. Or you can be like really good looking. Like if you're really good looking, then that helps a lot too. So like if you check off you don't have to check off all the boxes, but as long as you check off like at least one, then you can do social media. So I focus on education. Yeah.
And you're also good looking.
Thank you.
Own it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And okay, in the future, what do you think is a dream opportunity for you as a fashion designer? And honestly, like sometimes I think that as creatives, like you do a lot. Like even though like I do think that content creators are also filmmakers in some ways, because you have to like develop a script and put the things together and edit and all this stuff.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Do you see yourself like continuing to grow it as a fashion designer, or are there any other avenues that you're willing to explore?
Well, what I'm most focused on is becoming like the best fashion designer I can be. I really want to hone that craft as much as I can. So that's what I want to focus on the most. But I want to keep making videos because I love sharing the process, and I know people like seeing how their favorite like pop stars outfits are made. So I'm going to keep doing that. But did you ask like what my biggest dreams are?
Yeah.
Or, well, okay, I have a lot, but I want like an outfit in a movie. I want an outfit in a TV show. I want an outfit on the cover of a magazine. A lot of pop stars, when they tour, they have like a styling team, and they bring like somebody that makes outfits with them on the road with them. So I want to tour with a pop star and like make outfits for them on the road. I really want to design dolls and like make outfits for dolls for like Bratz or Rainbow High or something. I really want to do that. Yeah.
I love that. And I think that, you're already there. Like,
Thank
I don't
you.
know, like, because, right, like you were already on your work was already on a show. So it literally is just a matter of time that we
Yes.
will see.
You have to be consistent. Yeah, you have to be so consistent.
And something that I really wanted to talk about, just like more on the upcoming trends, as you are a the fashion person. What trends do you see coming on the summer that we should get ready for?
I feel like we're already seeing it a lot, but polka dots. I feel like polka dots are going to be everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I've been seeing
Why?
it a little bit, but I don't know. They're just so cute and classic, and it's like a little campy and fun. So I think polka dots.
Oh, I love, I love it, but I also am not a polka dot person. I
No.
think I will be out of fashion. Something that I find some like crazy here in LA. I think that people, and you're from Seattle, so I don't know if you as an outsider notice it too, and more that you're in the fashion space.
Mhm.
But I think that people in LA are so fashionable, and sometimes I go to
Yeah.
events and I'm not like I really try my best, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to, I don't know, we're gonna have the founder of Mid City Mercado in one of our next interviews.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And yeah, I'm excited. But every time I go to an event that is organized by them, I'm like, there's gonna be people who are extremely fashionable.
Yeah.
I need to like step it up. I try really hard, and then I get there. I'm like, I still didn't meet them because people are just so fashionable.
Honestly, I'm not the most fashionable person. Like, I wear like baggy pants, a ripped tank top, and like my Doc Martens, and that's like, you know how like cartoon characters have their like go-to outfit?
Yeah.
I feel like that's me, just like a tank top and my Doc Martens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that is your brand.
I feel like actually the trend is gonna be like having your own personal style and like not focusing on like the micro trends. I feel like that's what's gonna be in, just wearing what you want to wear.
I hope that I have that. I'm like, I think I dress consistently similarly, but then I'm like, I think this is so out of my brand. But
No, you're wearing a corset. You look amazing.
I thank you. I tried. I was like, I'm gonna be in with a fashion designer. Like, I need to try a little harder.
No, I love it. You look so good.
Oh, thank you. And okay, so now going towards the end of this conversation, who is one creative of color that can be whether in music, whether in fashion, anything that you really want to collaborate with?
I would love to make something for Kali Uchis. I've never made anything for her, but I love her. I love her music. She looks like a doll, so I would love to make something for her.
Some people from our network know her and have photographed her, so hopefully
yes, we're putting it out
they
there.
made a connection.
Yeah.
And how do you, I think something, you already talked about it a little bit, but right now, today, how do you keep making opportunities for yourself?
Just showing up for myself and posting consistently, always working on something, staying busy. Well, I just like love being busy and having something to do, or else I get bored. So just finding something to do. And even when it feels like nobody's like watching or nobody cares what you're posting online, just keep posting anyways, because you never know what post is going to be the one that kind of breaks you out there. And then people are going to have like this huge catalog of all the stuff you posted before to look at. So even if you feel like no one's watching now, like people are going to be watching in the future.
Oh, I love that. We had the content creator that we had on video said, I asked him, like, how do you feel when like some content doesn't perform well? And he was like, honestly, sometimes the videos that take me the most effort are the ones that like flop.
No, it's kind of fun being in your flop era, because you can kind of just like post whatever you want, do whatever you want, and like nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter. So
oh my gosh, I
embrace your flop era. It's okay.
yeah. Like something that he said was like, you know what? I don't care because I know that tomorrow I'm gonna post another video.
Yeah.
And the next day I'm gonna post
and
another.
I like this. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like whenever I post doll videos, nobody cares, but like I love it. So it's fine.
I love that, you know, and I think that as people that like post content often, like that can't get in your head. But I love that take. I'm going to, that is going to be our, what's it called? The clip that goes on social media. Be in your flop era.
Be in your flop era. It's okay.
And lastly, I think like as like this podcast and this community being all about centering creatives of color, what is something that you wish that more creatives got to learn about being a creative of color in today's climate specifically? That
even if there's like not a space for you, you can make a space for yourself. Like sometimes it is harder. You have to be more resourceful, and like it feels like work 10 times harder, and like sometimes it is working 10 times harder. But like you just have to do it and put one foot in front of the other and keep it pushing, because like no one else is going to do it for you. So
I love it. And before we wrap, is there anything that you'd like to share with maybe the people that have supported you along the way? You know, I think that from this conversation, I'm like, wow, that's so cool that you've had so many people advocate for you in different spaces. Like, is there anything that you'd like to either share with those people or the people that look up to you for inspiration in your trajectory?
Well, I appreciate the support a lot. Like in real life, I only have 3 friends, and then all my family lives in Seattle. So I do get like very alone living here in Los Angeles. But I know that I have like a huge community online that's always rooting for me and supports me. So that does keep me pushing. And I know that there's like always someone there for me, even if it doesn't feel like it. So I do appreciate the support.
Oh, I love that. And I love the digital community. I have a lot of digital friends that, you know, sometimes I meet 3-4 years after we followed each other, but I just know that they exist and that they've seen.
Yeah. And like recently I started sharing more that I'm like Guatemalan, and like I get so many comments that are like, oh my God, I'm Guatemalan too. I never see Guatemalan creators. Like that's very like inspirational. And that makes me want to like post more about that, because I'm like, there's like a big group of people that, oh, you know what another dream of mine is? I want there to be like a Guatemalan pop star that's like very cunty and like fun. I want to like design outfits for her. Like I need to find her.
Well, I do have to pitch you a DJ Samiti.
Okay.
She is Guatemalan.
Yeah.
Who was actually our official DJ for an event that we hosted a couple of maybe last month, 2 months ago, for Take the Stage, Women of Color Take the Stage. And she is Guatemalan.
I'm gonna look her up. Yeah, where are the Guatemalan pop stars? Like, I need to find them.
There's a community, and then also like maybe not a woman, but a guy, Ben Carrillo. He's also a reggaeton artist that I'm like, you should look him up. Like, I'll connect you with all these.
Yeah, like I know like Ricardo Arjona is Guatemalan.
Yeah,
but like,
but there's more new ones.
Yeah, no, I love him. He's so cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Like, really appreciate it. I have to tell the audience that you don't have a car, and I don't know how you do it here in LA. So thank you for coming here.
Yeah, I don't drive. I'm scared.
Yeah, LA is an interesting traffic city that you're like, you need to learn tips and tricks.
Yeah. Thank you.
But thank you so much for being here today. And thank you everyone for listening. If you are in the fashion space, I hope that this conversation was helpful. But also if you're just a creative looking to connect with other creatives, I hope that you got inspired of this conversation. you are truly iconic and a
Thank
star,
you.
Eddy. So
You're so sweet.
I like anybody can get inspired from your journey. And
Thank
also
you.
you shared some specific tips that I'm like, even I took note for the content for La Artisteada. So I'm super excited. And I'm super excited for everyone's journeys. Please make sure to follow us to stay updated with our upcoming conversations and for the rest of the season in partnership with Artisteada. Yay! Thank you.